Who are you?
I'm a detective.
Just tell him the truth.
What killed her was a shot in the head. You're the one person I can count on most to help find the real killer. And we will. Don't you worry.
Hello.
Hello, Wayne.
Hi, it's you. Yeah, I tried to call you earlier. I guess you were asleep. I love you so much.
Shut up, you bastard.
What?
I'll never marry you. I'm not a fool.
Teresa, what's wrong, sweetheart? Have you been drinking? Have you been talking to that meddling sister of yours again?
I despise you. You're a joke.
I hate you. I hate you.
You moved the body?
Well, nobody told me you were coming. No rigor mortis yet, but cooling probably happened at dawn. She was shot once in the back and once in the head, probably a small caliber.
You got a picture of her position when you found her?
Yeah, someplace.
Any other marks on her body?
I didn't see any.
No other marks. Those men's socks?
No, Lieutenant, they're ladies. They're called knee socks. This is it. Real antique. Not much security, but plenty fireproof. Now, any guy with a little experience can open an old-timer like that.
Any guy? What guy?
The thief. He obviously got the gun away from her, and, what the hell are you looking at?
Oh, it's nothing. Panties. Turns out my wife wears the same brand as Miss Gorin. So it was a robbery that went bad. Now, that's interesting.
That's where he got in, that's all. There's no prints there either.
No, I mean that a professional could open a safe that cleanly, but my nephew could open this with a Boy Scout knife. I guess you're Miss Gorin's tennis instructor?
This is Wayne, the man she said she was going to marry.
He is? Boy, she sure fixed this up nice for you. You caught this thing?
Cabo San Lucas.
And that's you on the mountain, too?
The one on the left's my Sherpa.
And skydiving, that's you?
Yes. And that's me on the yacht. I was crewing a race down in New Zealand. Oh, Jess, I am so terribly sorry.
Cut the crap. I've been told what happened. Why aren't you in Palm Springs?
I got a call late last night. Someone telling me what Teresa said on TV, and I just wanted to come back here and surprise her.
Surprise her? And that's all you found here by the safe? Her draft pages from the last manuscript?
That's all there was, the secretary thinks, except for the jewelry.
You didn't happen to notice, little black book?
Is it important?
No, I was just wondering that. Who are you?
I'm a detective. She's so pretty.
I was always too busy, I guess.
And she's so sweet to everybody. Look, even when they ask her dumb questions, look how sweet she is.
Lieutenant, I thought you were out looking for her killer.
It's her and him that I'm curious about because I've been noticing this Mr. Jennings. He sure knows how to get along with women.
Oh, please.
All except you, that is.
Well, would you want your sister to marry someone that much younger, without a real job, without a future, with no money? This way he has nothing.
You know, I was wondering about that money. I mean, she must have had quite a bit of it. But now he's not going to get any.
Why don't you tell him the truth?
I have told the truth.
No, you didn't. You've been lying. Just tell him the truth. Why don't you get him to tell you the truth?
How do you know he's lying, man?
That phone call, Lieutenant, was a little after 3 in the morning.
What are you talking about?
And it wasn't from a friend of Teresa's who said she told him what she said on TV. It was from Teresa herself.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Telling you to get lost. Telling you she would never marry you.
She's making it up. You're lying.
Telling you she never even wanted to see you again.
Oh, shut up.
Telling you that she realized what a damn fool she'd been.
How do you know these things, man?
For God's sake, because I was here with her when she made the phone call.
This gentleman here is obviously a private investigator. Does he work for you, maybe?
I hired him a few days ago. I'm sorry they picked you up, Charlie. Tell him everything you know.
Yeah, glad to get off the hook. Not much on Mr. Jennings' background yet, Lieutenant. But there is something about this car stuff might interest you. And a newspaper delivery guy you might want to pick up. See, Paid him a few bucks to keep an eye out, and just a little while ago, I got a call from him. Says he saw that red Jag of Mr. Jennings this morning, sometime around 7.
What? Where?
Right out here down the highway a mile or two. Said it passed him like he was standing still. On its way south, heading back into town from here.
Jess, I couldn't help it. I don't even know how it happened, except when I went into her bedroom, there was a gun, and there was a black notebook filled with lies about me. And I went down to the study, and I found her there on the floor near the open safe. And I don't know what happened. I just couldn't control myself. I must have... Oh, God, I don't know what I was doing.
I never saw a guy unwind that fast.
I own anything you say, Ken. It was usually against
Schultz.
what it was.
Schultz, stop! The preliminary autopsy says Miss Gorin was shot twice. Once through the heart with her own gun, that little .25. That's the gun Mr. Jennings just said he fired. What killed her was a shot in the head. And that, says ballistics, was from a different gun, over a half hour earlier, in fact. Whoever shot Miss Gorin in the heart later with her own .25 caliber just shot a dead body. What happened?
He fainted.
After she insisted on making that phone call, I managed to get her to bed somehow. And I left here to go home at about 3 a.m. All right, Lieutenant?
Dr. Wilson?
Boy, this is sure different from my hernia operation.
She threatened to write a whole book about me, to make a best-selling joke of my life.
I'll have a car come around 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Why? I thought your captain said I was free to go.
You're the one person I can count on most to help find the real killer. And we will. Don't you worry. I see on your door that you sell insurance. Now, we've already checked Miss Gorin's insurance agents, and they say that the only beneficiary to her life policies is her sister, Miss McCurdy.
All but one.
Oh?
When Wayne was first trying to impress her, he got me to write out an all-risks life policy for him, and when Miss Gorin heard about it, she sent me a note saying she wanted the same thing. She didn't want to bother her people about it. Wayne had insisted that she be his beneficiary, so, naturally, the great lady must reciprocate the grand gesture.
Would you mind telling me how much those policies are for?
$1 million.
$1 million? Oh, that's fairly impressive. And like I said, I noticed in Mr. Jennings' confession that all those awful words that he said your sister used, they just didn't sound like her. Well, I had this other brother in high school. He was older than me, and he used to get all these calls from all these girls. And I discovered when I answered the phone that if I grooved a little and grumbled, sounded like him, then, wow, the offers he used to get and the things these girls used to say to him.
All right. All right. You made your damn point. Yes, I'm the one that made the phone call early this morning. She agreed she couldn't marry him. She'd go to Seattle. She'd do anything else, but she couldn't do that. She just wouldn't tell him. She couldn't end it. I got so mad. I put her to bed and I went home. And I was so mad I picked up the phone.
There's a telephone call for Lt Columbo.
All right. He'll take it in here. All right, go on.
Shh, quieto, conejita. No le digas que estoy aquí. I have a surprise for you. Come on, I'll tell you.
All right, Schultz, but if you could scare me up a ride. Oh, you have? I'll be right out.
How long have you been here? Rosa?
I sent her to run an errand. Well, there's no need for her to know about that bitchy little phone call of yours. All your life, you're going to be thinking it was your fault that Teresa died, aren't you? Because you made me do what I did. Ever thought about why you're so angry, Jess? Why you're so sorry you introduced us?
You lousy.
Jessica, I've seen how you've watched me.
Yeah, it was buried in a lot of other junk right over there. Metal detector picked it up, so did a dog.
That path there, That leads up to Miss Gorin's house?
That's right. It's the one you take down from Gorin's place to get away up and down the beach. What the hell are you doing?
I'm looking all over for you two.
Well, what is it, Lieutenant? Do you have any new leads, any suspects?
I finally realized that it couldn't have been a thief or anybody like that did this.
It what?
Well, we already know, Mr. Jennings, that when you shot Miss Gorin with her own gun, that she'd been dead for a while.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant, but do you have to keep bringing it up? Can't you see Miss McCurdy suffered enough agony as it is?
Now, she was wearing white socks, knee-highs. And her secretary told me that she wore those socks when she wore slacks.
Secretary was probably right. What of it?
Would she wear slacks when she was traveling on a plane?
Teresa always wore slacks when she traveled on a plane.
Well, that's it. I know who did it.
What the hell are you talking about?
You, Mr. Jennings. I guess what you figured was you could be headed back to Palm Springs and beat the early morning traffic before it hit the freeways. You could be down there playing tennis before 9 o'clock and nobody would even know that you'd been gone.
I didn't even go through Los Angeles until 6:25 a.m., remember? I didn't even arrive at Teresa's house until 7 o'clock. Those guys had already left.
I know, sir. You were already there before they arrived. You had already killed her. And then when the cable guys came, you were trapped. You couldn't drive away without being seen, so you had to sit there and wait. So now, Mr. Jennings, you do just like a juggler does. You drop one plan and you grab another. When the cable truck leaves, you kill her with a different gun, knowing that if you ever got caught, you could always confess. Your sister didn't even dress herself.
Didn't what?
She didn't dress herself. Whoever shot her dressed her. And that person had to be close to her. Close enough to know that she would be getting on a plane and she would be wearing slacks.
Well, Mavis knew, Lieutenant. And I knew.
Oh, it couldn't have been a woman. This is how we found her. In her underwear and bathrobe with her right side sort of exposed.
Yes, I've seen that.
But do you see that little speck on her right hip?
Well, it's just a label sticking out from under a waistband.
A label? How ridiculous can you get?
Well, Mr. Jennings, I guess nobody knows everything about a woman, not even you.
You bastard! I'll kill you! I will kill you!
I don't understand. What the hell is wrong with this damn picture?
Well, here, let me show you on these panties. Hold this up. But Mrs. Gorin's panties were maiden form. I saw them in the drawer. That's what my wife wears. And maiden form panties are always on the left. The panties I just saw in the morgue, left side. So how did the label get from over here all the way around to over there? Well, there's only one answer. The panties were put on backwards. And you don't think she would do a thing like that herself, do you? Just one more thing.